CNN entertainment correspondent Elizabeth Wagmeister is here with more on her exclusive reporting. Elizabeth, tell us what you're learning.
We have learned from two sources that potential witnesses have been contacted and notified by federal investigators that they may be called to testify.
In a lawsuit filed yesterday, former star Adria English claims she was trapped in a cycle of sex trafficking she never asked to be a part of because defendant Combs knew he could groom her.
When we drink, I felt so up because I was paid as a stripper at Lyrical. I know what it takes to be drunk. I felt way more up.
Sean Combs was once on a glide path to becoming a billionaire, but as allegations, which Combs has denied, continue to mount, business partners have fled, and his brands have become increasingly worthless. And the worst news may be yet to come.
Diddy got to Netflix after bidding wars. Hey, I'm gonna put it like this, I'm gonna watch it. I think it's something that we all should watch, you know? And look, it's something that there are reasons why the industry is so quiet.
Sean Diddy Combs is in hot water once again after CNN released explosive footage involving Cassie, bringing even more trouble to the music mogul. To make matters worse, new footage and additional lawsuits have surfaced, exposing his criminal activities. These legal battles accuse Diddy of everything from financial misconduct to disturbing personal crimes. The evidence is shocking, making it increasingly difficult for even his most loyal supporters to defend him.
Most recently, he's been sued by an adult film star who was employed to work at his famous Labor Day white parties. Adria English, who filed her suit on July 3rd of this year, claims she was first employed by Combs in 2004 and was groomed into trafficking over time. In her suit, she claims her first year of working at Combs' now infamous party in Miami, there was no sinister intent or requirements for physical sexual contact and seemed like a legitimate employment opportunity. So she came back the following year and the year after. But it would be that third party she worked at that Diddy allegedly demanded she engaged in sexual intercourse with party guests after they learned about her adult entertainment past and forced her into work. English claims her memories of some details are hazy due to her consuming lots of alcohol and drugs, but added in her complaint the encounters she was forced to endure were so excruciating she remembers them because they still haunt her to this day. In May of this year, April Lamprose filed her lawsuit against Combs, accusing him of battery and sexual assault. She says she met Combs in '94 when she was a student at the Fashion Institute of Technology. Lamprose claims Combs promised to mentor her and showered her with gifts. She says she endured 4 terrifying sexual encounters with the producer/rapper up until the 2000s. The first incident allegedly occurred in '95 when Combs took her to a hotel and raped her. Lamprose claims months later Combs sent her gifts and flowers, so she decided to give him a second chance. She says the second incident allegedly occurred in a parking lot where Combs forced and demanded her to perform oral sex on him. Then in '96, Lamprose claims Combs forced her and his former girlfriend, who happens to be the mother of 4 of his children, to take ecstasy and have sex with each other, where Combs allegedly pleasured himself and then Lamprose. Lamprose says the fourth incident occurred at the end of 2000 when Combs was dating Jennifer Lopez. Years later, at an event in 2023, Lamprose claims a man informed the person she was with at the event that he had seen a tape of Lamprose having sex with Combs that was filmed without her consent. 2 days prior to Lamprose's suit being filed, Crystal McKinney also filed a suit against Diddy. She claims she met Diddy at a New York Fashion Week event when she was a 22-year-old model. In the suit, McKinney says Combs told her he would help advance her career. And later that same night, she alleges she met Combs at a studio where he gave her a lace joint, alcohol, then followed her into a bathroom and forced her to perform oral sex on him. After the alleged assault, McKinney believes Combs blackballed her in the modeling industry. She says she's since suffered depression and even attempted suicide. Then there's the Rodney Jones Jr. suit filed in federal court in February of this year that accuses Combs and the people who work with him of being part of an illegal racketeering enterprise. Jones alleges in his complaint Combs reached out to him in 2022 to help him produce songs for his latest album. But Jones claims that the work went far beyond him producing. He claims he was tasked with getting drugs and soliciting workers. Jones alleges Combs would often threaten to inflict bodily harm on him if he didn't comply with his demands, and accuses him of sexual harassment for allegedly grabbing him without his consent and forcing him to work while Combs paraded around. Then there's the suit filed by a woman under the moniker Jane Doe, which was filed in December of 2023. Doe alleges she was gang raped and trafficked by Combs and former Bad Boy Records president Harve Pierre when she was just 17 years old and in the 11th grade. She claims she met Pierre in a Detroit lounge and he told her he was best friends with Combs. Doe says Combs then convinced her to fly on a private jet with Pierre and a third assailant to New York City. She alleges when she was taken to Combs' studio, she was given drugs and alcohol and subsequently gang the studio by Combs, Pierre, and the third assailant. Combs and Pierre have denied the allegations against them. Liza Gardner filed her lawsuit against Combs and R&B singer Aaron Hall in November of 2023, alleging the two forced her to have sex with them against her will when she was 16 years old. She claims she met Combs and Hall at a Jodeci album release event in New York City. Combs allegedly invited Gardner and her friend to Hall's apartment for an after party, and it was there that Combs coerced her into having sex with him. In the suit, Gardner claims she was getting dressed after. Hall barged into the room, pinned her down, and allegedly forced her to have sex with him. The day after the assault, Gardner alleges that Combs came to her home and began assaulting and choking her to the point she passed out. On the same day Gardner's suit was filed, another suit was filed, this one by Joy Dickerson-Neal. In her suit, Dickerson-Neal says that she met Combs after she appeared in a music video with him while she was a student at Syracuse University. She claims she agreed to go out to dinner with the rapper and producer in January of '91. During their date, Dickerson-Neal alleges that Combs intentionally drugged her and sexually assaulted her and recorded the assault. She alleges days later a male friend revealed to her that he and other men had viewed the sex tape, which she says from that point her life went into a tailspin, and after returning to college she had to be admitted to the hospital for severe depression and suicidal ideation.
I think the music industry is one of the most corrupt industries on the planet. And I know somebody personally, and I'm not even going to go into details, that they one of the biggest hits of Biggie's career. And he told me when he sent the beat to Puffy, he just stole it from him. So just from the amount how you doing business, you cannot do business that way and expect for you to continue to be successful, because eventually it will come back. So we always heard about, from that standpoint of view, just doing people dirty, just sneaking people for money, and every evil thing you could think of, they just, what I mean? So that's sad, because when you come from our background and we get into the music industry, for example, and they start becoming these CEOs, the first thing they start talking about, man, we're gonna do our own record company because we tired of the white man stealing from us. You know what I mean? And then you get these black CEOs, they come do the same exact thing to black artists. Yeah, so you keep seeing that cycle where you that's why the music industry, I always say, is one of the most corrupt industries on the planet, because everybody's out for themselves. You know what I mean? Everybody's out for themselves. So the same thing they complain that the white, CEOs are doing, the black CEOs do the same thing to the artists.
So when you see the situation that Diddy in right now, right, you're not surprised?
It doesn't surprise me. Yeah, it doesn't. You know what I mean? We just always heard he was cutthroat. I'm surprised he survived that long. I used to say, well, he probably rubbed his shoulders with the people. Those, I don't get into that conspiracy, Illuminati and stuff like that when people start saying it, but I definitely believe that it's in the music industry, there's some higher people that's very corrupt and evil. And I remember when we first, and I didn't really understand it, but when we first, the time that I first met Pac, we was in a group called Dramacidal. We went from being Young Thugs to Dramacidal, then we became the Outlaws. And I remember when Pac was locked up, and we would go visit him, and he was telling us that, because when we were Dramacidal before the Outlaws, we had a quick record deal with Interscope Records. And I remember when Pac used to say stuff, he was like, I swear to God, he used to say, you're gonna go meet this person at Interscope, and they devils. I didn't really understand what he meant by that. He's like, but you gotta play it right, and they gonna give us a record deal, but they just straight devils, you know what I mean? So, and now I understand. These people cutthroat, you know what I mean? You don't see no CEO. If you look at any rap record, the CEOs from these rap records, they not part of our community. Meaning that they come from a different background than us. Most of them are ran by certain individuals. And what happened is they never get back to the community. You never heard of the CEO of Interscope Records, the CEO of Sony Records. These people making billions of dollars off of black music. You never heard them once say, let's open up a school in the black community. Let's give health care to the rappers. Let's go open up community centers for the black people. But they taking all this money. You understand? When an individual died, have you ever heard of a record company that paid for a funeral of a dead rapper? Besides Suge Knight, Suge paid, you know, when Pop put it in his will, he wanted to go cremate it. Suge paid $1 million to cremate him. But these people, so now when I think back and when Pop was calling them devils, it's like these people are really devils. They just out for money. They don't care who die in the process. They don't care what happens in the process. They don't care who lives are destroyed, as long as that money coming in.
Yeah, that's real talk, man. But for me, right, when I look at the situation, I look at it like karma. You know, he finally getting everything back that he got away with from back then, and you know.
Arrogance, you gotta humble yourself. You know what I mean? You gotta understand, like, you can't carry yourself with that arrogance as if you're untouchable, because the creator of the heavens and the earth can destroy you 1 second. And maybe he's saying that now. Sometimes people be thinking they're untouchable because they get away with certain things so much, and they get careless and they get arrogant. And I think that's what he's going through.
If you think Diddy's controversies are recent, think again. It's now revealed that even his infamous parties were hiding human trafficking behind the scenes. This isn't just a new scandal. It's a deep-rooted issue that's been ongoing for years.
Diddy has always been known for his big white parties where a bunch of celebrities show out, but now we're learning the truth about what happened at these disturbing parties. An adult star has come forward and claimed that they were trafficked at one of Diddy's parties. Diddy has been under a federal investigation for human trafficking, so this isn't a great look for him. It's like another one to add to the list. In a lawsuit filed in New York, a former adult film star, Adria English, claimed that the rapper and CEO of Bad Boy Entertainment forced her into prostitution and work with guests at his annual white party. So at these parties, I guess he would force these people, like Adria English, to go and hook up with these celebrities. Now, Adria claims this happened between the years 2006 through 2009 and happened both in the Hamptons and in Miami. She was, quote, made to engage in illicit narcotics and alcohol use while employed by Diddy.
In a lawsuit filed yesterday, former star Adria English claims she was trapped in a cycle of trafficking she never asked to be a part of because defendant Combs knew he could groom her.
There's absolutely no reason any boss should be forcing any employee to do any substances, let alone, hiring someone to then force them to sleep with people. That's just so icky and gross, and I'm glad that this woman's coming forward. We've heard of this cycle before when talking about Diddy. These people who are promised careers, modeling gigs, music record labels, and they aren't given anything. They're given these false promises, and when they don't deliver, then Diddy blacklists them. Adria claims that she first met the disgraced rapper in 2004 after her then boyfriend auditioned for a Sean John modeling gig. Adria claimed that her partner and another model were asked to perform orally on Diddy in order to get the job, which they allegedly refused. So it looks like Adria's boyfriend was told, hey, if you want to get this modeling gig with Diddy, you gotta suck him off. Despite their alleged refusal, Adria claimed that her partner was given a second chance if she agreed to work as a go-go dancer at one of Diddy's white parties. And she showed up and she did her job. Here she is at the white party in the Hamptons back in 2004. So we got some proof that she was in fact there. Here's a clip of Adria explaining how she got involved with Diddy.
Long story short, my ex Anthony Gallo goes in the room and he comes out yelling, fuck that. I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, I'll talk to you in the elevator. When we get to the elevator, he's like, try to ask me to suck his dick. I said, who asked you to suck his dick? He said, Diddy. I said, that. But then after that, he booked him anyway because I agreed to dance at his white party.
Major red flags. Of course her boyfriend was appalled by the idea, but then she kind of sacrificed herself so that he could get that job. Now, in the legal documents, Adria explains that when she first started working for Diddy, there was, quote, no sinister intent or requirements for physical contact, and it seemed to be a legitimate employment opportunity. So when she was invited to come back the following year to work again, she accepted it. It was easy money, she was at the white party, tons of celebrities, she didn't have to do anything icky yet. However, she says around around the third party she worked that Diddy demanded that she begin engaging in intercourse with guests, as they had learned about her past in the entertainment industry and used it against her. She goes on to state that her memories of some of the details are hazy due to the fact that she was expected to consume copious amounts of alcohol and illicit narcotics. However, the documents add that the encounters that she was forced to endure were so excruciating that Adria remembers them as they still haunt her to this day. Which, that is horrific. That's PTSD, that's trauma, that is also a survivor coming forward and standing up for herself.
You and Diddy, what was the situation between both of y'all? Because I know he made some comments to you that you wasn't fond of, right?
He tried to play me, okay? This is when I knew he was out of his mind, like, you know what I mean? Basically, to make a long story short, I was messing with this chick, just started messing with her, you know what I mean? Knocked her down a couple times, a model chick, you know what I mean? At the time, I remember she was sharing an apartment with a famous actor's mother, okay? That's all I'm gonna say. Now, she's not my girl or nothing like that, you know what I mean? I probably had a girl at the time, you understand? Let's just keep it real. But I knocked her down a couple times. And so now we're out in LA. We're at the Palladium. Big party, mad people's there, all these celebrities is there, people are performing, you know what I mean? Mad LA people is there, mad people from New York is there. This was like the super party. Like it was a very good party. So I'm in there, and then I see Shorty in there. You know what I mean? So I'm like, oh, okay. You know what I mean? So I'm like, if all else fails, I have some imported here in the party. You know what I mean? And because back then, and always looking for something new. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're always looking for something new. So, even though she was there, I'm still hunting. But I'm thinking, I got her on deck. So I don't think nothing of it. Then, your man Puff comes up to me. And he's like, yeah, yo, Playboy. First of all, I don't like all this Playboy. Like, I don't know, you know what I mean? He calls a lot of people Playboy. Like, yo, Playboy. Yo, I told homegirl to go with you tonight. That's what he says to me. He said, I told her to go with you tonight. So right now, he's trying to let me know that he with the too. You know what I mean? He with the broad too. I don't want to call her. He the broad too. B, he's trying to act like he has more power over her than me, right? Because by saying I told her to go with you is like saying, like, if you wanted her to go with you, and I said no, she'd go with me. You know what I mean? And so I'm just kind of looking at this like, he really lost his mind. You know what I mean? Like, because in my mind, I'm the king of broads at this time. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm the king of broads at this time. And I had been the king of broads before being famous. You understand what I'm saying? So, and I knew this guy from Mount Vernon, and he was not the king of broads coming up. So for him to talk to me like this is just mind-boggling to me. Like, you know what I mean? I'm like, oh, he's really feeling himself. Like, he's really thinking, this whole, because I don't even know if he was bad boy Puffy yet. He might have still been like MCA Puffy, like, you know what I mean? And I was like, yo, he's wilding. And so I was just kind of like looking at him crazy, and I don't know what I said, I feel like I might have just been like, yeah, all right, whatever. And then I just walked away from him, and I just left the broad in there. I didn't, like, I'm gonna be, oh yeah, Puffy said you can come with me. I was like, this broad. You know what I mean? Bag me something else, and I never spoke to the broad again. You know what I mean? But right at that moment, and then upon reflection, it makes me think about some of the things you read in these depositions and all of that, about somebody that feels like they're controlling and all of that. You see, he thought he had control over the broad, more control over me. And it's like, listen, if I wanted to put my meat hooks in the broad, I could have did that, but I didn't even want to do that. Like, but I just feel like he tried to flex on me, you know what I mean? And it was like, please, like, cut it out. You know what I mean? But to me, that was the mark of, in my mind, of, yeah, this was the beginning of when he started going crazy. You see what I'm saying? When he first approached me like that, oh yeah, he was losing your f***ing mind. He was losing your f***ing mind. And on another note, I thought about this later when we're hearing all this, you know, by shit. He could have been trying to set up a play where he thought we was gonna have something in common. Like, yo, I told her to go with you. And then he see me another time, yo, you had fun that night, Playboy? Yo, we should come to my crib. And we'll run a train on her or something like that. You see what I'm saying? That's how. Come on, man. You see? And now they try. And now a real goof ass. Oh, Puffy invited me to the mansion to run a train on a girl. Like, you think I'm stupid. Like, so that's what I'm thinking. Could have been you know what I mean? Motivation too. Like, maybe he didn't think he was playing me. Maybe he thought he was planting the seed for us to have this broad in common. I don't know. But I felt like he was trying to play me. You know what I mean? And either way, he was trying to play me. You know what I mean? So I wasn't feeling that, and got out of here.
You think he one of them dudes that only got females because he started to get money?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Like, I don't remember seeing him with a bunch of broads back in Mount Vernon high school days and all that. You know what I mean? The first bad broad I seen him with was Misa, and I was kind of like, damn, how'd he get her? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I didn't even really understand how he got her, like, you know? Because Misa was definitely bad back in the days, in Mount Vernon and like that. But prior to that, he was just one of those that danced in the parties, like, you know what I mean? Like, he was just a dancing, like, you know what I mean? Like, with these bushy eyebrows, I think they connected at the time, like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, he wasn't alive, like, put it that way.
Things are about to get even more interesting. 50 Cent revealed he's been working on a docu-series that will further expose Diddy's alleged crimes. And guess who just secured the rights to the show? Netflix.
50 Cent has not been keeping quiet about all of the drama and accusations flying around about P. Diddy. In fact, his company, G Unit, has produced a multi-part documentary which has just been sold to Netflix after a legit bidding war. I think the best part, however, is him sharing TMZ's cover story about this and the caption he wrote. He wrote, TMZ used this fat boy picture of me because their documentary went to Tubi, LOL. It's okay, guys, we're all making great television. Mine just happens to be the best. Netflix wins the bidding war, but if more victims keep coming out, I'm gonna need to make more episodes. This is the post that 50 Cent came out with after P. Diddy's apology. He said, this is not going to work. Who's advising him right now? SMH, bad move. He's also made a bit of a dig at Jay-Z. Jay in hibernation. He ain't coming outside till the with puffs blows over. No lunch, no brunch, no dinner, LOL. I'm all you got outside.
There were rumblings about Diddy's bad behavior for years. Simultaneous raids, a massive show of force.
I know what's gone on.
A stunning downfall.
50 Cent has been hyping up his Diddy documentary for months, and the project just landed a prestigious new home. Multiple sources familiar with the situation say 50's multi-part documentary about the SA suits against Diddy was purchased by Netflix. We're told there was a massive bidding war over the doc, which was produced through 50's G-Unit film and television studios, with multiple networks and all of the streaming platforms attempting to land the series. Diddy was hit with another civil lawsuit Tuesday with model Crystal McKinney. She came forward with evidence after 2016 security footage of Diddy putting his paws on Cassie in a hotel hallway surfaced Friday. Cassie previously filed suit against Diddy and settled out of court 1 day later. Diddy at first called the suits a shakedown, but later apologized.
50 Cent like he finna make a whole documentary about P. Diddy. He gonna call it Diddy doing it.
Yo, I
Diddy
tell you this, it's going platinum in the streets. Everybody gonna watch that. Everybody gotta watch that. That's why.
You think he gonna really do it?
I don't think he gonna really do it, but I think if it's a real shot and he gets access to the rights
to the footage
and he can get people to do the interviews, he's definitely doing it. That's a gold mine. You're gonna get at least 10 million viewers per episode with that.
And then might as well do it and get the money instead of letting, you feel me, the other side get the money.
Right, that's what I'm saying. So.
Help the brother man, not the other man around this
Yeah,
boat.
go ahead and let him get it.
Yeah, we might be producing. No, I don't want to be involved in none of that freaky ass.
I don't want to be involved in it. So if you're watching this and you are making a Diddy documentary, I need you to know that I do not want to be a part of it.
Yeah.
Not in front of the camera, not behind the camera. No, not me.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be on camera tearing another black man down like that. Cause I was watching the TMZ one on Tubi, and it was just, they did him dirty. They did him just like R. Kelly. I'm like, oh man, these other folks will tear your ass down when they got the opportunity.
But this is the thing. I just want the testimony of the people. Like his old bodyguard, Eugene or whatever, has been talking. He talked about the time Diddy's arm was in a sling because he was beating on Kim, and then Kim stabbed him. His ex, Kim says she stabbed him with a corkscrew.
Yeah.
And that's why his arm was in a sling. Okay. People had to know that, bro. They had if they heard that story, then they know he was abusing her. Know that she fought back, stabbed him with a corkscrew. He ain't the only person. He said he had heard that the one baby mama had ran from Diddy. He was beating on her so bad that she had to get underneath a car to escape.
Yeah, I seen that. You gotta think about it, bro. People used to get in fights in the neighborhood growing up, and everybody know who used to win or lose a fight, and everybody wasn't there. And that's just local shit. So imagine what the whole industry know. Diddy been whooping these hoes. I love everybody.
These just have to know, bro. Ain't no way these don't know, bro. So, and you telling me he don't never discuss it? He been beating women up since 91. Ain't discussed it with no. He ain't with the no. Be like, hey, I had to beat this up, man.
Yeah.
Talking crazy. He ain't said that to no.
Cause men that hit women love to brag about it. I've been around some that be like, I had to slap out this earlier. You be like, oh, damn, he really be hitting women. And then you be like, all right, let me mind my business. Let me go mind my business.
I just want motherfuckers to be consistent. Because there's motherfuckers out here attacking Diddy right now who got somebody in their camp slapping.
Exactly.
So it's like
now they make, and then I don't like how they make it like Cassie just 100% victim. Her freaky participating in all these Jesus too. You don't gotta do that.
That was my thing, but this is the thing, you can't go there because one, they're gonna call you a victim blamer, you know what I mean? Because they don't believe two things can be true at once. They can't believe, Lewis, that you're able to see that Diddy is doing some awful shit and is making people do shit.
50 Cent has to be one of the biggest trolls of all time. So earlier today, TMZ announced that 50 Cent officially sold his documentary on Diddy. The documentary is called Diddy Do It, and it's sold to Netflix for a couple $1 million. By the way, this has to be one of the craziest titles he could have possibly picked. This is the cover art for the documentary. 50 also said if more victims come forward, he's definitely gonna release more episodes. Making a bag off of your op has to be some diabolical work. As of now, there is no release date, but I'm sure we'll hear about one soon. This is crazy, man. What y'all think about this?
So, what do you think? Will Diddy be behind bars soon? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, hit that subscribe button so you never miss an update. Until then, fam, keep it real.